Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Alright, we're not going to talk about what's on my face. Long story, but I'm going to leave it. So anyway, I realized that it has now been over a year since I updated this story that's on my channel. So I will link the original video somewhere up here, which is talking about when I rejected my dream job offer. And I promised that I would come back to you guys and that I was really just trusting that the outcome would be good. The last time I talked about it was September 2020. So if you watch that video first and come back to this, you'll kind of understand. At that time, I didn't know. I was just trusting and I was making the video on faith. But I'll give you guys kind of a rundown of what happened. So I probably of my own self decided that it was time for me to look for another job and advance in my career, and I received a job offer which seemed to be a dream job offer for me, not only in what I would be doing, what my title would be, but the salary as well. And as I was making the decision to accept that job, I had an encounter that essentially told me not to do it and challenged me to trust that something would be created for me that I could not yet see, which of course, if you are familiar with faith, particularly that of Christianity, you know, faith being those things that we can't see, but we do have to trust in. So it was a very big decision, and that video has a lot more in it, so I would suggest that you guys watch that video again. That will be linked. It was a very big choice and very challenging of my faith to step out on something that I could not see and turn down something that was right in front of my face. But the gist of it was that when I made that video, it had been, I don't remember if it had almost been a year. Here's the other thing that I want to talk about, the timeline of things. There are lots of times when we are tested, or we ask for things, or we're praying for things, and we believe that those things should happen quickly on our timeline. So it was about a year. No, it was almost 2 years. This whole situation was about 2 years, and it was challenging for that to be about 2 years, you know. So now I'm over a year from that last video. But circling back to what I said, I received a job offer. I was essentially challenged and told not to accept it, and then, as you guys know, 2020 happened, and the job that I would have accepted, because I didn't end up accepting the job, I turned it down. And I stayed where I still am to this day. And the job that I would have accepted would have been eliminated in 2020 and would have been no more, and I would have undoubtedly been in a pretty terrible situation. So where I was standing last year in 2020 was just the gratefulness that I was not experiencing that, and I was, you know, still gainfully employed. I didn't suffer from any of the things that lots of others unfortunately suffered through in the year 2020. So I was just experiencing a lot of gratefulness and still trusting and believing that what was said to me, and I knew wholeheartedly was said to me, because lots of times people question, like, do you really hear from God? And that's just not something that I'm willing to waver on. That's not something that I'm willing to believe is not true. I've had lots of encounters that, you know, people call lots of things, but I feel like we've gotten away from believing that we are in a time that miracles and speaking to God and all those things still exist. And I just reject that. I reject that entirely because of the things that I've experienced. And I know that there are people who haven't experienced those things and still have to trust and believe on faith the things that they cannot see. And I understand how that could be difficult. But for me, I can't question where those things come from, because I have been shown time and time again. So fast forward, now we're in 2021. We're at the end of October 2021. You'll probably see this in November, obviously. So earlier this year, probably 4 or 5 months ago, it happened. So that thing that was said to me, like, to believe that. So again, I really suggest that you watch that video. So I couldn't see my path forward where I was, which was why, or where I still am. I couldn't see my path forward. I couldn't see how I was going to grow. I couldn't imagine turning down that job offer, because I couldn't see, which is why I made the decision. So when God literally said to me that he would create something out of nothing, or something that I couldn't see, that was huge for me. So in 2021, I have a promotion. I got promoted to a position that did not exist, was created for a task and a sector that did not exist. I have a team, and we are doing something that did not exist. I'm trying not to say too much, but yeah, it happened. And I'm living in it. And I cannot even believe that I am going to say what I'm going to say, but it exceeded what, so the position, I'll say this way. So what I was going to accept is less than what I have received, in salary and in everything. It was less. It took 2 years. I couldn't see, I didn't know, but here we are. I'm incredibly busy. Let's just get that out the way. I'm incredibly busy because, again, this is essentially a new a branch, or I don't even want to call it a branch because it's not a branch. I'm trying not to say too much, but it's a new undertaking that has not been done, or has not been done in the way that we are doing it for my organization. So I'm incredibly busy. But it feels good. It feels good not only in what I'm doing and feeling as though the things that we are putting into place now, the things that we are building now will be beneficial down the road, and that someday I'll be able to look back and be like, hey, I was there when this started and I played a role in that. But beyond that, there is a certain feeling that you get when you step out on faith, and then the things that people essentially said that, no, there's no way that you could have heard this. There's no way that God could have said this to you. That exact thing happens. That exact, not like, oh, a little bit of that happened. No, the exact thing happened. You know, God is faithful. He keeps his promises, and you can stand on those promises. And I don't even know what more can be said, but I realized that I had not updated you guys, and I was like, oh my God, I have to come back and tell them what happened, because again, I haven't posted a lot, and that's just because so much has been going on, and I have been so busy. And of course, in the position that I'm at now, I'm trying to do the best job that I can do and make the best decisions that I can make, and forge this path that essentially I'm creating. It's insane. But again, the exact thing came to fruition. So I would encourage any of you, if you are feeling led, if you know in your heart of hearts that God has told you to do something, if Jesus has told you to do something, do that thing, right? And I know it might seem hard, and I know you cannot see it, but that is exactly what faith is. That is exactly what we are called to do. And it doesn't matter what people, I've had people close to me, well, essentially friends and things, not family, because my family, you know, they understand we've had the same kind of experiences and things like that. But I've had people tell me that wasn't God speaking to you. And that's fine. You can let people believe what they believe. You can let people have their own walk. You can, that is fine. But I undoubtedly know that it was. And there is no denying that the exact things that were said to me were the exact things that have now happened. And it is of no credit to myself at all. But I cannot imagine where I would be or what the outcome would have been had I not stepped out on that and trusted that that was indeed what was being spoken into me. And here we are. So I just wanted to update you guys on that because I realized that I haven't. I am still where I was. I am in a totally different position. I am abundantly blessed. That's it, guys. I just wanted to come back. I am gonna go now and watch Christmas movies because this is Christmas. I don't care. I'm decorating on November 1st. I don't care. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, wonderful whatever is going on. I just want this to encourage you. I want you to hear what I am saying. I want you to hear from the mouth of someone who is giving you a testimony on faith. And it is 100% true. So thank you guys so much. I will be back. Again, I'm busy. I'm kind of tired, but I'll be back. Love you guys so much. Bye.